Good morning. It's Siobhan Muir. I am here, I am awake, and I do have coffee because you can't survive without coffee. It just isn't going to happen. But that said, I want to welcome you all to the Sunday morning tea. My thing today is that I'm talking about paleo diet, and I don't want you to get all like, oh God, she's doing a fad and stuff like this. I'm not. What I'm doing actually is taking care of my body. I went to the doctor this last fall, and I got blood tests done, and we tried to establish a baseline, and we took a look at kind of my. Are you meowing at me? My cat is telling me he wants to get out of the room, so excuse me for a second while I do that. You went out of the room? All right, you're out of the room. And I, see this new T-shirt I've got here? This is World Okayest Runner. Yeah, that's kind of my perspective on on running. I hate running. I hate running. Never liked running. I will run on my elliptical because it works my whole body, and I can turn my brain off, and I'm warm. I don't have to worry about snow. But I don't like running. I don't like running. So I'm the world's okayest runner. But I want to welcome you this morning. So the thing that I did this fall was I went to talk to the doctor, and given my age and how many years I've been on this planet, I thought it might be a wise choice to take an effort to see what's going on. 2016 was really rough on me because my body put on a lot of fat. In 2015, I managed to release like 25 to 30 pounds of fat off of my body. And you could see it in my face, you could see it in my waist, my clothes fit a lot better, all of these things. And I was like, yeah, I'm finally doing it, it's getting off. And then 2016 hit, and I put it all back on, plus an extra 10 pounds. So I got my double chin back. See this thing? I got my double chin back. I got my gut back. My clothes didn't fit. It was marvelous. I really enjoyed that. That's sarcasm, by the way. I was not happy about that. Hey, Nellie, welcome. Welcome. I'm so glad to see you. Yeah, so it was not a good thing for me. So and in 2015 I had tried a different lifestyle change where I changed how I ate, when I ate, what the amounts of how much I ate, and like I said, it worked for a while. And then the stress hit me. And here's the thing: I don't stress eat, but the way my body, so I don't have snacks around me. I have coffee, but I don't have the snacks around me. When I go to eat, I get up and I go into the dining room kitchen area, and I sit down and eat, and then I come back and I do my work. So, and I go for walks, and I walk the kids to school, and so I don't stress eat. There are no snacks. I don't sit there and just eat. I just don't do that. One, I'm not that hungry, and two, I just don't need the food around me. But in 2016, there was a hell of a lot of stress. I'm sure y'all remember that particular year. That was the one of the election, and all the ugliness online, all the fake news, all the Russian infiltration, all of this stuff, combined. And of course, I'm worried about it because if we voted in, which we did, if we voted in a misogynistic racist, then my life was going to get a lot harder because I'm evidently, not a man. So it came down to, I was really concerned about how things were going to go for me, my family, our country in general. So the stress built up. I didn't eat more. Matter of fact, I didn't change my eating habits at all. But what my body does when it gets stressed, any food you put into it, it could be salad, it could be protein, it could be bread, it could be, water with ice cubes, it converts it to fat. Because the body goes into panic mode and says, oh my God, we need to store fat for the lean times. yeah, there ain't no lean times going on. So my body put on all this weight because I was really worried about life, about our family, about our country, all of it. You know, I was really worried. So I put on probably 40 pounds of weight just in, maybe 35 pounds of weight just in 2016. By the time 2017 hit, I was like, oh my God, what happened? So what I decided to do is I had to find another way to change again. I had to do a whole other lifestyle change and change what I'm eating and change how I do stuff. And I got a Fitbit, which I'm currently not wearing. I got a Fitbit, say, all right, how many steps are you taking? What kind of walking are you doing? You know, what kind of exercise? I interact, you know, I thought about what my doctor said, so I cut out rice. I cut out bread. I already cut out sugar. Sugar was one of those things that I had cut out since, oh gosh, 2009, 2010. I stopped putting sugar into stuff. I mean, like, you know, coffee, and I stopped drinking sodas, and all those fruity drinks that are supposed to be good for you, they are so full of sugar that I stopped doing that. I stopped. So, and then, but I ate a lot of rice, not a lot of pasta, but I ate a lot of rice, and I ate enough bread. I don't think I ate too much bread, but enough bread that when I went to see the doctor, this is really funny too. I went to see the doctor. She said that the blood test came back and said, you're pre-diabetic. Mr. SM just went to the doctor this month, and he says, we don't use that phrase. We don't say pre-diabetic anymore. Well, you did in 2017. So, but the point is, our blood sugar levels were too high. And he said, you know, you need to start cutting out the carbs. Start cutting out the white rice. Start cutting out the white flours. The white carbs in particular were causing the problem. And now I make my own bread, and I use brown spelt flour to go with it. But in many ways, you know, you got to kind of be careful. So I've really stopped eating a lot of bread, and I've stopped eating white rice. Now I make wild rice. It takes a lot longer. You have to cook it for an hour instead of 20 minutes, but it's better for me, and I eat a lot less of it anyway. And then I've started, so I thought, well, what can I do? And after we found that out, Mr. SM said, well, maybe you should try the paleo diet. Paleo diet basically is you eat meat and vegetables. That's it. Protein and vegetables. You can have a little bit of cheese. Probably shouldn't have too much, but you can have a little bit of cheese. You stay away from the processed foods. You stay away from the white flours and things like that. And then you tend to eat things like fish and chicken and pork and beef, although I don't eat a lot of beef simply because there's too many hormones in it that it actually makes my body rebel regardless of how good the meat is for me. And so I've stayed away from beef. Not, you know, I still every now and again I think, oh God, it'd be nice to have a steak, but I'd have to get a steak that is organic, right? Because or grass-fed, you know, wild free range, because otherwise I can't eat it and it'll come back up. And no thanks, the whole point was to eat food, not to throw it back up. So I've been sticking with turkey and chicken and salmon, trout. What else did we choose? In any case, I'm trying to eat more meats, lots of eggs, tomatoes and avocado and onions, carrots, broccoli, asparagus when it's not terribly expensive. Basically doing, like I said, meat and vegetables. That's kind of, and it's already made a difference. I can see it in my body. Now, something someone taught me when I visited in Thanksgiving was that when you release weight, the first thing you do is release the fat around your inner organs. I don't don't know why I didn't know that or why I didn't remember that, but it was like one of those, oh yeah, right, of course. Because I couldn't figure out why my body wasn't changing on the outside. Well, that's because you had enough stuff to do on the inside, you idiot. Oh, right. So what I've noticed is not so much that I have lost a lot on the outside, but my clothes fit better because the inside's getting smaller first. Now, it doesn't mean you can see that I've released a little weight in my face, and the way my clothes fit now, things are changing enough. There's a lot less fat on my belly. Nellie says, I eat a turkey burger when I need ground beef. Right, I tend to eat turkey as well. And if I get steaks, I go to the butcher shop rather than the grocery store. That's it exactly, Nellie. You go to some place that they have organic or free range. Matter of fact, I'd rather eat bison than I would actually eat cow, because bison don't have any of the hormones and crap in them. So, and that's important to me too, because otherwise I could get really, really sick. And yeah, no thanks, I don't want to get sick. So we've been switching over, and after Mr. SM went to the doctor just this January and found that his blood sugar level was too high, we're making a real effort to live by the paleo diet. And like I said, it's basically meat and vegetables. And it's made a difference. It has made a difference. You know, I bought a paleo diet cookbook so that I could have some recipes of, well, what do I make for dinner? What do I make for lunch? What do I make for breakfast? Today I had a salmon, avocado, onion, tomato scramble. So I put eggs in it as well. It was good. And I wrapped it in a wild grains tortilla. So that's about all the bread items I tend to eat. It has obviously, you know, it's a slow process because I still have a lot of extra weight on me. But I'm feeling better and I have a lot more energy, and my clothes fit better. So, but it is a slow process because there's still plenty of fat on my body. It's not like I'm gaunt. I'm not gaunt. But I want to give you the sense that it does work. My friend Marcy, she tried it, and she's been eating the paleo diet now for a couple of years, and she actually got into clothes that she used to wear in high school. Now, she does swimming a lot, and she does a lot of heavy-duty exercise, so her body's going to change faster than mine is unless I convince my brain that I really want to run on my elliptical. I don't, but because I don't like exercising, makes me hurt. It's painful, and so what I tend to do is go, I don't want to do this. It's meant for me. It's a mental game. A lot of people are going to say, "Oh, Siobhan, here, let me give you. This is how you should do it, and this is what you should do." No, that's what you should do. That's what works for you. Definitely do what works for you. For me, it's a mental thing. I have to get my mind engaged that I want to do this. Otherwise, it doesn't matter what you tell me, I won't get on the elliptical. And it's the same thing about, well, if you want to release weight faster, you're absolutely right. If I want to release weight faster, I'll get my ass on the elliptical. But it's a mental thing. I still have to convince my brain to do it. So, be that as it may, I don't need any advice. I know exactly what I have to do. I'm a big girl. I can totally take care of myself. But, and I'm not asking for advice, so don't feel obligated to tell me. But I do my suggestions are the paleo diet has been working really well for me. And it's a slow process unless I do extra exercise, but it works. And I'm seeing the difference in my clothes. I'm seeing the difference in the shape of my body. I can tell that the weight on my belly is a lot smaller than it was at the beginning or even at the end of 2017. I mean, there's been a significant change. So there you go. So today, my goal is to get some more writing done on Courting the Dragon Widow, which is an older story that I'm working on and has been waiting, 10 years to get finished. It's finished. There is the end. on the last page. But it needs some rewriting. And it may end up being longer. Right now, when it started, when I started looking at it, it was 81,000 words. I've already added 2,000 words to it, just fixing it. So there's a good likelihood it's going to be a long one. And that's good, too, because it'll make it a much better story, and then you won't end up with the crap that I had before. Good morning, Mary. Nice to see you. See, look at my cup. It says, good friends are like stars. You don't always see them, but, you know, they're always there. Yay! So, yeah. It's nice to see you. I'm glad you're here. I have found that writing on old stories sometimes is a good way to get the muse to rest. In that I've already done the heavy lifting in terms of getting the story done. Now I just have to revise it to make it something that's worth you guys seeing. A lot of times you'll find that my books start off with kind of a rough edge to them, like rough. That's not so good. But it's good to be seen. Yes. But after letting them sit, wait. Oh my goodness. I just looked out the window. It's snowing. Like now. Okay, so it's going to snow today. I know what I'm doing today. Not going outside, definitely writing. Staying warm. Oh. And I'm reading, right? Because I've got piles and piles of books that I've wanted to read and haven't done a darn thing with. So, in addition to writing that story and letting it sit for 10 years and now fixing it, and yeah, it's definitely snowing. Well, actually, it's more like groppling. Do you know what grapple is? Grapple is like those little styrofoam balls that fall from the sky, and it looks like snow, but it ends up like little styrofoam balls all over the ground. Yeah, that's what it's doing. It's grappling. So I'm, in addition to writing, I've been reading a lot more, and what I started on reading, I've seen the movies, but I wanted to read the books, and what I've been reading is The Hunger Games. Wow, that woman is a good writer. I don't like first-person present tense. I can't stand that POV. I think it's kind of like, really? Do I have to listen to your griping and bitching and moaning? Suzanne Collins, who writes The Hunger Games, nails it. She is really good. She's so good that I don't care. I don't mind that I'm reading the first-person present tense. She does it so well that I'm sucked in, and it's that good. So, if you all, I know you probably have seen the movies, but if you haven't read The Hunger Games, I really recommend the book. There's the movies did a good job. While I'm reading this, I can see the pictures from the movie in my head. The movies did a good job capturing the emotions of the characters and their kind of their subtle backstories and the undercurrents of their beliefs and perspectives. Really, the movie did a great job at actually capturing that. But there are some details that they, of course, had to leave out because the movies only had 2 hours. And these books were really rich in some of these details that I just think is so cool. So if you get a chance to read The Hunger Games, I really recommend it. Muirlet #1 had started reading The Hunger Games. And she reads a little bit of a book and then she kind of sets it aside. And I'm like, well, fine. So I had bought the whole trilogy. So I started reading the first book. And I am now well over halfway through. And I'm just like, I stayed up till midnight last night reading because I'm just like, ooh, how's it going? Oh my God, what's going to happen? Even though I've seen the movies, I was totally engrossed in the story. And I got all excited about it. And Mr. SM is snoring next to me, and I'm just like, no, I gotta find out more. But so I'm halfway through. I'm almost 3/4 of the way through, and I'm going to beat the Muirlet #1 to the second book because I have to know what happens. Even though I've seen the movies, I gotta know what happens. So Oh, nice job, kitty. Excuse me, the door is open again. All right, kitty. Cat decided to push the door open. Anyway, I hope y'all are having a good weekend. And I hope you guys are getting some good reading done. You read the audiobooks? Long Commute? Yeah, it's really a fantastic story. And the fact that that she could write in that first person present tense and not bug the daylights out of me, she's good. She's good. I appreciate her writing a lot. She did a nice job. And, yeah. Y'all should read them. I mean, the movies are good. And the movies capture a lot of the energy and the nuances to the characters and the backstories. The movies do a good job capturing that. Not a question. But the book has a lot of cool details in it that really even more flesh out the story. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and the nice thing about it also is it gives me kind of a break from writing, and so that I can think. So last night, my oldest Murlet, she got honored. There's a program in Wyoming of music and art. Okay, and so at the Cheyenne Symphony, not the youth symphony, but the symphony last night, they put up the I think 7th, 8th, and high school, so 9, 10, 11, 12. All those grades of artwork, right, and the best ones. And then they got graded. It turns out that there was a competition for art and music, and they had gone to the symphony and heard the Three-Cornered Hat ballet, right? So they went and they listened to that music, and then they created art based on the music they heard. And then it was a competition. Apparently, the kids were graded, and some of them won ribbons. Yes, there's a lot that has to be sacrificed for a time limit of a movie. Exactly, Mary. But they did a nice job with the movies. They actually nailed that story really well. So we went to I got an email like Thursday that said, hey, just want to let you know this program happens on Saturday, and it's pretty cool, and if you want to go, you just need to RSVP. And I'm like, go to the symphony? Okay. Why? Well, some kids won ribbons. And Murlet number 1 was one of the kids that won a ribbon. I'm like, oh my goodness, she won a ribbon. So we went to the symphony last night, and we saw her art, and it's spectacular. I will put pictures up. And she did a nice job, and she came in second for 3D art. That's better than me. I suck at 3D art. And she came in second. She got a big old red ribbon. And then, of course, we listened to the symphony, and we enjoyed the symphony. There was a flute player, a flautist, as they call them, that, I don't know, basically it's a man with a stick with holes in it, right? And he's playing along. Yeah, this man, you have to use your breath for a flute. He played so fast with so many things. I'm like, can you still breathe, man? It was amazing. Flute playing is not my favorite music, but there's no way I could do what he did. He was just amazing with playing the flute. And so we got to listen to some music from Three-Cornered Hat ballet, and then Stravinsky, and then Rodrigo, and these are the composers. I'm trying to think of who else was there. DeFeo was one of them, and Mozart. Yesterday was Mozart's birthday. He would have been 262, and they played a little duet that he put together for a baron and his daughter, the baron being a flute player and his daughter being a harp player, and so it was a flute and harp concerto with orchestra, and they put that together. So we got to listen to that, and it was really amazing music. Of course, it's the symphony, and these are professional musicians, so it was like, wow. But in addition to the art, we stayed up really late last night because the kids were just like, I'm tired. So we got home late, and then they crashed. But hey, we got music, we got art, we're good. Some are just that good. And then there's the rumored circular breathing where you inhale through your nose while using the breath play. I think he used some of that, but it was just that fast and hard that you could hear. There was a couple times where he had to take a breath because it was impressive how he did that. And I'm just like, I'll stick to violin because you have to use your fingers to be fast, not your breath. So he did a nice job, and Muirlet number 2 was so impressed that she went up to him and asked for his autograph on her program. So it was really sweet, and it was really nice to spend an evening at the theater. We were so we got culture here in Cheyenne. Let me tell you, we got culture. We're gonna go and we're gonna listen to the symphony. It's damn good. So yeah, get a chance, definitely. And I mean, when I found out that the kid had gotten an award, they said, "Oh, it's free for families of the kids that did the art." And I'm like, "We just went to the symphony for free? Okay, fine. Let's go listen to classical music for free. I'll do it. Sign me up." So it was good. And in the long run, it was another one of those things that the whole family could enjoy. It was very cool. If y'all have families and you have these cultural things to do, take your family and go, because it's worth it. You get to talk about music. You got to talk about how exciting it was and what kind of things you like to listen to and the instruments, and because they're live, right? So you get to sit there and watch all these different players. Like there was a trumpet player. Mr. SM and I were sitting there, and in the very back, of course, is the brass section. Right? You had French horns, trumpet, and trombone. It was a very small section. They didn't do a lot of. They didn't do the full symphony. And the trumpet player, I'm sorry, but the trumpet player looked a lot like Ryan Reynolds. So here we had Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool, playing the trumpet in the symphony. and then next to him was a guy who looked like the actor from, I'm trying to think of where I saw him. Oh, you remember in the Hunger Games movie, at the game master, the one who put together the program so that they had to, he was the one with the beard, dark-haired guy with the beard. The trombone player looked just like him. I'm like, dude, we have the entire Hollywood cast. It was great. I'm like, I could just watch them play. And then, of course, the harpist, who was the soloist, and then the flautist, and I'm trying to think of, and then, of course, the woman who runs the Cheyenne Youth Symphony. She is a second violin in the Cheyenne Symphony, so we got to see her play, and it was really cool. It was really cool, and you know what's really even funnier? There were neighbors all around us. I turned around, and a lady that lives just one block over, it was there, and she's like, "Oh, how are you, Siobhan? How's it going?" And because our kids go to school together, and then then the lady who walks her dogs all around, and the Muirlets go with her. She and her sister were there, and she was so glad to see it, and then wanted to go see the art, and it was magnificent. I mean, it was like, oh look, Cheyenne just showed up. It was great. So it was a community event as well as a family event. And then there was the music from all parts of the world. I mean, Rodrigo and De Fallo were Spanish composers, and you could totally hear the Spanish style in Spain in there. Just the music that is so typical of Spain. You could hear it in there. And then the last piece was done by Igor Stravinsky. This is a Russian composer, so I could hear the Russian sounds to it. So it was really cool to hear, and then of course you heard Mozart and stuff. Like, hey Terry, welcome. So yeah, it's been a great thing this morning to remember what we did last night, and it was really cool. So if you get a chance to go to the symphony. One of the things I really like about Cheyenne is a very community-based city, right? We do the farmers market and the library and the symphony and, you know, the depot events, and also there's a whole bunch of things that come together in Cheyenne that get the community to come out and interact. And so I really like seeing that, and you know, see my neighbors and see my friends. And like, hey, and you know, you kind of think, oh, I saw my friends at the symphony. But if you think about it, we all live downtown. We can just walk there. So, well, yeah. So I'm grateful that I live in a place where you do see community around, and you see your neighbors and your friends, and you know, oh, did you go to the symphony? Yes, I did. But I went to the symphony because my kid won an award as well, so that was part of the deal. So yesterday I was talking about the hot guy that's going to end up on the cover of the book that comes out in March. Now the book comes out in a box set, so you're not going to see that cover until a little bit later. But I wanted to show you the guy that's going to be on it. And last night you couldn't see it very well because electronics and light doesn't go well. So here he is. Can you see him a little bit better today? This is the young man that's going to go on the cover of Cloudburst Coffee and Spa. Yeah, he's a hot guy. Anyway, he's very enjoyable to look at, and I will put him on the cover along with a blonde woman, I think, because I think Moira's blonde. God, he's cute. You're gonna like that. So I thought I would share that with you this morning before I duck off here and get back to writing. And also, I gotta finish the Hunger Games because the book is so good. Oh yes, ooh la la, very nice. Yes, he is. He's very nice. And he's tattooed, which is good because the character has a lot of tattoos. Now, he's dressed in this image, so that's fine. He's a hot guy. So, I'm trying to think. The majority of the covers actually, well, maybe half. Maybe half of the covers, the characters are dressed. They're not naked, which is okay. You know, that keeps Amazon off my back. Oh, the other thing is, I want you guys as readers to understand that Amazon is becoming like a dictatorship, right? They're a monopoly. They seem to have the biggest chunk of the market. So that said, I want you to understand that a lot of authors are starting to put their books up on their websites and selling them direct because they don't like the rules Amazon plays by. And they don't like the fact that when they start the Amazon programs, the scammers and the cheats are getting in there and taking over. And so the bulk of the money goes to the scammers and cheats and doesn't go to the legitimate authors. So the legitimate authors are going, well, fine, we're going to have to find a different way to make money and survive. So one of the things that a lot of us have been doing, and I've been doing it for a lot longer, but I haven't talked it up much, is you can come to my website and buy my books directly from there, right? And you pay through PayPal or Square so that, you know, that it's covered and you'll be safe, you know, and you will get refunds and things like that if things don't work out. You can always talk to me too, and I'll make sure you get the right files. You can get files for Kindle, you can get files for Nook, you can get files for Kobo, you can get files for Sony readers, you can get them all, right? The whole gamut is there, I make sure. And the other thing is you'll also, the best part is, if you go to my website, you will get a discount, right? A discount compared to Amazon. So, Amazon, you put it up for $3.99. I usually take at least 50 cents off on my website. And I do sales periodically. So keep that in mind. Yes, you can go to Amazon. Yes, it's very easy. But it takes them 2 months to pay me, for one thing. And then, of course, they take their chunk out. If you go to my website, you pay me directly, and I get basically the full amount of the book. I'm just putting that out there. You don't have to choose to do this. You can still stick with Amazon, not a problem. My books will be there, but you'll get a discount on my site, and you will pay me directly, so you don't have to worry about paying a corporation. If you hate Amazon, this is another good way to get around them. Yes, all my current and past books are on my website, all of them. The only ones that aren't on the website are the ones that are like in the anthologies. Those I can't put on my website because I'm not the publisher of those. You will have to get those on another site. But yeah, all my books are all my indie published books, which since I'm an indie published author, all of them are on my website. And they are categorized not only by the series that they're in, but they're also categorized by, you know, is it a paranormal romance? Is it a firefighter romance? Is it a military romance? Is it a fantasy romance? Is it a cowboy romance? It'll, you know, think about what books you're interested in. They're all there, and all the series are there too. But if you're looking for paranormal, you'll find werewolves, vampires, dragons, centaurs. If you're looking for firefighters, firefighter romances will be there. If you're looking for the Warbler Peninsula, all three of those books are there. If you're looking for the Bad Boys of Beta Squad, all those books are there. The only ones I can't put on there, actually there's two books that I can't put on my website, and that is Rimshot's Hard Target and Darwin's Evolution, because those are published through Amazon, so I don't have any choice. I have to leave them on Amazon. I can't put them up myself. But I want to get all of your stuff. Yeah, the only time you're going to have to buy on Amazon and it are Rimshot's Hard Target and Darwin's Evolution. Those two books you have to buy on Amazon. I don't have any choice. But I promise you I will not publish any more through Amazon. I'm just not going to do it. I don't like their contract. So I signed 2 contracts and I'm done with that. You already have Darwin's Evolution. You're right. And they're short stories. The Rimshot and Darwin are both like 30 to 35,000 words. So they're shorter, right? They're novellas. But I won't do them again. I was going to do that with Wildfire's Heart, and I just couldn't swallow I just couldn't swallow the contract. I was like, you know what? This is like saying, oh, we'll pay you with exposure. Yeah, you've done that with 2 of my books. You paid me with exposure. So I'm not willing to do that. Yes, they are part of a Kindle world. They are. They are part of Kat Johnson's Hot Seals Kindle worlds, and they're referred to as fan fiction because we're writing in someone else's world. But they are fan fiction in that regard, but they're trying to get people interested in, oh, you can go to and get exposure through using this other author. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to give away my work because Amazon owns those books in perpetuity. I don't ever give them back, which is why I have a really tough time signing their contract. So because of that, they're only getting those 2. So those are the only 2 that are not on my website. All the other books are. And so those are the only 2 you're going to have to go through Amazon to buy. But all the others are going to be up on my website. Oh my goodness, I've been doing this for almost 40 minutes. So I guess I should wrap it up. But what I wanted to make sure that y'all know about is I am writing the next book that comes out will be a Cloudburst, Colorado story. It's called Cloudburst Coffee and Spa. The book that I'm working on right now, turns out it is also a Cloudburst story. It doesn't take place in Cloudburst, but the heroine is from Cloudburst. And it will come out April, maybe? I can't imagine doing 2 releases in March, so April, I guess. Then I will definitely need to get Delhi finished, so that might be pushed off until May. I don't know. It depends on how the muse wants to talk to me. I can't get her to talk to me about Delhi right now, so I'm giving her a break, and we're working on this other story. And then I need, in June or July, I have to get a book out called Star Spangled Banner. So that one is a Cheyenne Cowboys book that you will get and it's a cowgirl, but whatever. We're not worried about that. She's associated with the Triple Star Ranch, so that's what's coming up, and that's what I can give to you. Thank you for spending the time with me. I know it's 40 minutes, and I apologize for being talking, but some of the people will stop nagging you with Chance of Deli. I know. I can't get her to talk to me about Deli, Mary. Right now, I tried. I pushed at her, and she didn't want to do Deli. She's just like, I'll give you a sentence. That's not getting the book done. So I said, well, why don't we work on this other story? She's like, yeah! So we're working on this other story to get it done, and then maybe she'll let me talk about Deli again. So, but anyway, there are more books coming. You're not going to be... I'll lend you my puppy. I don't think a puppy's going to help. But there will be plenty of more stories coming, and you won't be going, is Siobhan ever going to publish again? Yes. There's one in March already lined up, and then there's one in April, and I'm guessing there's one in... Well, I know there's 3 stories coming. So that's why I got to get to work and finish one of them. But anyway, I hope you are having a great weekend. Thank you for joining me today for the Sunday morning tea. I hope you have something warm to drink. And, of course, next weekend is the Saturday Evening Soliloquy on SMTV on YouTube in 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Central, and 7 p.m. Eastern. Then, of course, the Sunday morning tea, somewhere between 10 and 11 a.m. Mountain Time, which means somewhere between 9 and 10 Pacific, 10 and 11 Mountain, 11 and 12 Central, and 12 and 1 Eastern. So, gosh, I can't believe I can remember all those. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. I hope that your weekend goes well. Oh, the sun came out now, so it stopped snowing. So you gotta love Wyoming. And, well, I better get back to writing, huh? Have a good one, and I will talk to you later.